Good morning, everyone. It's very interesting to hear what the roadmap is out of lockdown at the moment and all the issues that surround it. I really feel for people whose businesses have been so badly affected, and there's been a number of areas that have been highlighted during this pandemic which have had a massive impact in people's lives. Not least the amount of women today that are seeking sanctuary in some women's refuge, those who have suffered from all kinds of physical, mental and emotional abuse. And it's an indictment on our society today that we have women who have to live in fear from husbands who, as we have said, abuse them. And it's been really interesting to hear some of the testimonies of those women and to hear about the demands that have been made on that particular service. The Bible speaks a lot about refuge and safety, and especially in the Psalms, speaks about God being a fortress, God being a refuge. And there are different sides to that. When you think about a women's refuge, the first area is that whole area of security. You can't just walk up and gain access into a women's refuge. There's a security around it, whether it's cameras, whether it's locked doors. Security is very, very high on the agenda, and it's the security that brings about that opportunity to feel safe, that this becomes a safe place for women to stay in, and not just a secure and a safe place, but it becomes a place that can act as a foundation to build a new life, to build a future with their children away from the abuse that they've experienced. And God constantly encourages us to find that safe place in Him, to find that secure place with Him, that He is a fortress, that He is a refuge. And as I've said, the psalmist continually talks about that. And when you think of some of the awful things that David went through and some of the persecution that he had to experience, it's real testimony to him that the secret behind continuing, the secret behind going on, was to find in God His refuge. And that's my encouragement to us this week. If we find ourselves in a difficult place at the moment, if we find ourselves under attack at the moment, if we find ourselves feeling threatened at the moment by whatever, whether it's people, but maybe not so much people, but just circumstances, that we're able to find that refuge in Christ, that we can find a secure place, that we can find a safe place, and in Him we can find that help to establish something new and something different and a future for ourselves. So let's continue to find that safe place in Christ. This week we continue to look at the whole humanity of Jesus and how His humanity affected Him and impacted Him, and what that means for us. So we hope that you'll join us then, 10:30 on Sunday. We look forward to seeing you. In the meantime, have a good week, stay safe, and find your refuge in Christ alone.